Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be working a fresh start on our game engine for Java. Now we will be doing this in regular Java. We're not using Gradle or Maven because this project is specifically targeted for beginners, and it might be a little confusing for beginners to use Gradle or Maven. Now, if you're an extreme beginner, that was a horrible way to phrase it. If you are a beginner and you are just starting out with coding in general, I would not suggest to watch this series, and instead learn how Java works in general, and then once you've gotten a basic good understanding as to how the Swing library works or just Java syntax in general, then watch this series. However, this series is being made for two reasons. One, this summer I have worked a lot on my game engine, and this is just a basic engine for most of the games I will create in Java that are 2D and that are basic. So, there's that. Then, secondly, I would like to share my game engine with other people, and I would also like to share it with people that are willing to learn and that also have something to gain out of it. Now, what are we going to get out of it? Well, that I will be explaining in a second. However, creating a game engine is very beneficial to your knowledge of coding. While I would not suggest you dive into game development completely, well, maybe dive into it a little bit, because you'll learn a lot there, but if you don't like it, don't focus on it. And also, you should not spend all of your focus on making games if you are not that crazy about it. I love making games, but after a year, I've gotten really tired of it. So I'm looking at other things to expand my field of expertise. For example, I did some Arduino stuff this summer. I plan on making an operating system for the Raspberry Pi, or at least attempting it. But for me, the main switch in pace is where I started to use Arduinos. I use some servos, infrared sensors, blah blah blah. So, what are we going to be learning in this series? Well, most importantly, we're going to be learning OOP, and this game engine hopefully has some structures that will help at least beginners. Maybe not the most efficient, but efficient enough for beginners to really understand what OOP is trying to do. Then we're going to be learning how to load fonts and play sounds. Now, playing sounds was actually very difficult for me, simply because I did not understand how loading files from other places worked. Also, we will be hopefully looking at a well-structured textures system, along with threading, because a game runs on a thread, maybe a timer, and most importantly, for creating games, there are the players, the AI, or not the AI, the NPCs, all of the entities, like rocks, or swords, or players. Those are all entities. Good entity handling and management. And hopefully, if we get to it, UI. Now, the reason why I say hopefully is because I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm going to Costa Rica in like a few weeks, something like that. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we'll see how far we get into this series. So, I'm not able to actually continue this series in Costa Rica simply because I'm filming this on my gaming computer. Now, the only other computer I have is a MacBook. However, OBS will not work on it simply because it's a school computer. That's it. Unfortunately, school is really strict about what I do on my MacBook, so I cannot use OBS because it requires screen capturing, and the settings need me to allow that in the privacy settings, or else it won't work. And they have a passcode set in so that I can't change anything in the privacy settings, so I can't really use it for recording. And that's all for the introduction. Hopefully you got a good sense of what we'll be working on, and hope to see you guys in the next video.